I saw a comparison yesterday that this was reminiscent of then FBI Director James Comey deciding not to charge Hillary Clinton, but calling her, quote, extremely careless with the email servers. Do you see any parallels here politically?
Yes, possibly. One of the mistakes that I think that the Biden campaign made is not going after Robert Hur enough. I mean, in a crisis campaign situation like this one clearly was, the first thing that they should do is just go really hard at the person causing the trouble. And in this case, it's Robert Hur. They didn't really do that. The second mistake that I think that they made was they didn't have their closest allies or their staff, spokespeople, going out and clearing it up. They didn't have them going out and attacking Robert Hur, and they didn't go out and defend the president. And there's all kinds of reports today that the president's friends and allies and staff don't really know how to deal with this situation because a lot of them probably understand and believe what most of America thinks is that he is old and in decline.
I do want to talk about what we saw last night after this came out. Just a few hours later, President Biden did have a press conference. It was, I believe, less than 15 minutes. He went out there to defend his mental acuity, and he made an error at the end. He accidentally called the president of Egypt the president of Mexico. What do you think of this moment? Because if you go on social media, if you go on X, this is the only thing coming out of the press conference. It was trending last night.
That press conference last night was really Hindenburg level. It was a disaster in the making from start to finish. You already have a press corps that's frustrated because they don't have access to him on a daily basis or even a monthly basis. They hardly ever hold press conferences with the president and have the ability to ask him questions. And when yesterday, this really big, important national news that broke, he went in, he gave some remarks. He was yelling at some point. He was clearly very angry. And then he took some questions. And the questions were being shouted at him. It was a real cringeworthy disaster for those of us that were watching. I believe that it was a mistake to have started to allow press around the president at that moment. Now, they were right to respond immediately. They had to respond immediately. However, a better way to respond would have been to have the president behind the Resolute desk, delivering some remarks, attacking Robert Hur, talking about his physical and mental fitness, and then not taking any questions. And then knowing that he's got to go out there and be more aggressive. He has been taking zero risks lately. You've seen him go out on the campaign trail and doing really small events, which he excels at. Now, he declined to do the Super Bowl interview this year and also last year. When you are in a very close and when you're behind in a presidential race, as he is in this moment, you have to do big things. You have to take risks. You have to do things that are going to move the needle. And declining that Super Bowl was really a strange move. And it says to me that the staff and maybe the president himself didn't trust himself to have such a major interview that potentially could have over 100 million viewers. So I think that the next step that this White House has to do is get that Super Bowl interview back. And if they want to try to clear up this clear catastrophe, they need to do that now.